And joining me today is Portland's Bill Cameron. Welcome, Bill.
Thank you.
Bill's the author of the recently released Day One, set in Portland and in Southern Oregon. It's Southern Oregon noir. So can you tell us a little bit about Day One?
Sure. Day One is actually focused on a number of different people. Portland homicide detective Skin Kadish, who appeared in my first two books. He's retired and trying to make sense of his life. One morning a young boy gets shot out front of his house in the midst of a police standoff. It turns out that the young boy, Igor Gillespie, is someone that Skin has known for several years and was involved in a previous homicide investigation that was never solved. Meanwhile, there's a young woman named Ellie Spaniker who comes from this end of the state. She was born and raised in Southern Oregon, and she has fled to Portland to escape her abusive husband, and finds out very quickly she's being pursued by a hired thug sent by her father-in-law, Hiram. So things kind of go downhill from there and end in a fairly explosive moment in the middle of Portland on the top of Mount Tabor Park. So.
And Day One isn't your first book, but
No.
You've used the title Day One. So what's the title refer to?
Day One, I think that the themes that run through Day One, the primary themes, are a sense of reinvention of self. Sometimes willingly, in the case of Skin, who has retired from the police department and is now trying to make sense of his new life. Sometimes as a matter of necessity. Ellie is fleeing a past life and trying to create a new one. Igor is an interesting story to himself because he's a kid that's been in a lot of trouble, and he has a tendency to reinvent himself on almost a day-by-day basis as part of working various scams. Sometimes he's a thief, sometimes he's a beggar, sometimes he's a grifter. And in each one of those roles, he has to become a new person each time he takes it on. So that idea that every day is Day One, in one sense, it infuses the entire book.
Okay, great. Well, could you read us a little bit from Day
Sure.
One?
What I thought I'd read is the opening paragraph, which sets the stage. It's in the voice of Skin Kadish, who is my series character, and gives you a sense of what his voice is like. So this begins November 19th, 8:03 a.m., and it's The Idiot with the Pistol. Igor Gillespie once told me he'd be more likely to shit a diamond than live to see his 21st birthday. I dumped his beer anyway, and he wandered off, shaking his head at the cruel injustice of it all. It will be almost a year before I see him again, in the street out front of my house, still years shy of drinking age, but just in time to catch a bullet with his face.